A survey has found that half of Singaporeans feel that this year has been a bad year for the country. Still, the study by market research company Ipsos notes that the figure is lower compared to previous years. The survey covered 500 people, ranging in age from 21 to 74 years old, on their perspectives of the year gone by. Now, 48% feel that 2023 has been a bad year for Singapore. That's down from last year's 57% who felt that way. Unsurprisingly, the figure was more than 9 in 10 at the height of the pandemic in 2020. So what is 2024 going to bring for Singapore? Economic concerns continue to weigh heavily, especially about inflation, interest rates, as well as unemployment. But concerns have eased somewhat for the first two categories compared to 2022. Appearing for the first time this year as well, concerns about artificial intelligence, or AI. Nearly 70% expect AI will result in job losses. 6 in 10 also expect their personal data to be leaked on the internet. But what's surprising is that 43% say that they plan to reduce their time spent on social media.
To tell us more about what these numbers might mean, we're joined by Lavina Iyer, analyst at the Economist Intelligence Unit. Lavina, we just heard that about 70%, almost 70% of Singaporeans expect AI to result in job losses. What might be driving that concern?
Thank you for having me on the program. The numbers that we mentioned with regard to the fear of AI and job losses, well, they're actually quite similar to what we're hearing globally. So the concerns are not new. And this is where I think it's imperative to remember that every time there has been a new technology in the past decades, there has always had an impact on the job market. So this perception is not entirely misplaced, but it's important for us to remember that although there are industries where AI has probably caused job losses, companies in 2024 will also be focusing on where AI can bring in opportunities. So at the EIU, we believe that artificial intelligence would augment rather than replace human beings entirely, or human capabilities in the job market.
Ms. Iyer, give us some examples of that, if you will, because the survey also found 63% believe that AI will create those new job opportunities. You just referenced the fact that there might be those opportunities to augment what humans can do. What can we look forward to in that sphere?
Absolutely. And I think the best example of that would be 2023, because it's been the year where we've seen AI take on specific tasks within jobs. So, for example, we have seen how human capabilities have been enhanced with regard to, say, fraud detection when it comes to financial services, or with regard to managing logistics for the retail sector. So at the current moment, if you ask me, is AI at a stage where it can overcome and completely replace a human being from a job? Probably not. And I think that's where industries and governments and enterprises will continue to focus on in 2024.
Where AI can contribute to a specific task within jobs, we just mentioned. So 2/3 are confident doctors will regularly use AI for patient treatment decisions. Now, obviously, there's good and bad to that. If you could summarize the main points for both good points and bad points.
Yes, and I think the negative bits are often because commentators tend to focus more on the jobs that can be eliminated, rather than what can also be created with the help of new technologies like artificial intelligence. And one example that comes to mind is the work that's being done by Synapse in Singapore. The organization has been working very clearly to use artificial intelligence and leverage some of those capabilities for tasks that have previously been done entirely by human beings. So, for example, predictive analysis capabilities. It can be leveraged for preventive healthcare, for early diagnosis. So once again, it highlights the augmentation of human capabilities in the field of healthcare. Will that involve a little bit of training and reskilling? Absolutely. And that's where governments and organizations would have to come in and focus. And Singapore has taken steps in the right direction when it comes to reskilling its workforce for a world of AI.
Ms. Iyer, we are resigned to the fact that AI will impact the workplace, jobs as well. But what about the impact on income and also just on how we live our lives, on lifestyle moving forward?
I think it would be too early to say that we're at a stage where artificial intelligence will have a noticeable impact on lifestyle and income in particular. I think it's important to understand 2023 has been a year of discovery for artificial intelligence. 2024 will be the year where we'll go a little beyond to identify and test some of those use cases for artificial intelligence. So I'd say the time period would be somewhere between the medium to long term, where we could see noticeable changes in our lifestyle and our income.
Amazaya, final question is 6 in 10 fear their personal data being leaked on the internet. How does this figure compare with global figures?
Well, the global fears with regard to cybersecurity attacks aren't very different. The risk of cybersecurity and data privacy leaks are something we've been flagging at The Economist Intelligence since 2020, which is when we saw an accelerated wave in digital transformation. And while individuals and enterprises focus on cybersecurity attacks and how to prevent them, it's also important to focus on mitigating the risk. How quickly can you recover from a cybersecurity incident? How quickly can you go back to operating at a normal pace after a cybersecurity incident? So mitigating risk would be equally important for individuals and enterprises concerned with this.
Amazaya, thank you very much for those thoughts. Lavina Iyer, the analyst at EIU. Thank you.